Boom! What's up, everybody? Hope your night's going good. Happy Big Friday. Let me know how the audio is, how the mic to game volume ratio is. I haven't streamed Tekken in a while, so I can't remember what the audio levels are supposed to be in my XSplit. Big Friday. Tonight we're gonna go over a lot of like basic stuff that's really geared towards people who've been playing the game 6 months or less, I guess. There's still like some to learn if you're past that barrier, because we are going to talk about matchups, how to learn matchups, how to study matchups correctly and most efficiently to learn. But a lot of it's going to be geared for people who are really new to the game or have been watching the game and are interested in it, want to find out what you're supposed to do to get into it, because honestly, Tekken 7 is the most like beginner unfriendly package, and it's not because the game isn't beginner friendly, it's because they don't put anything in the game that teaches you what you're supposed to do. They kind of just throw it at you and you're meant to just explore it on your own, and that's not always a good thing. Of course, our journey is going to start on the character select screen. I'll hit left, my preferred side. So, if you're getting into the game, one of the big things is not picking a character that's too complex. And I know there's probably like some really cool character you want to play. They might not be good for starting out. And I'm not saying don't play that character per se. What I'm saying is maybe spend your first month with someone really simple so that you can get a feel of the game system, because that's really the hardest part, not really learning the character itself. So among characters, like, I wouldn't really recommend to beginners. I wouldn't recommend Eliza. I wouldn't recommend Lei. Lei has a ton of stances and a lot of things to remember. Excuse me. If you have decent execution and you've played hard fighters in the past, the Mishimas are okay. So Heihachi, Devil Jin, Kazuya, they're okay. But otherwise, I'd recommend staying away from them if you're kind of new to execution, you have not played fighting games before, or you came from maybe a more modern and simpler game like Pokken, for example, or ARMS, where the controls are more simplified. Smash, another example of more simplified controls. I would not recommend the Mishimas. Same thing goes for Lee for the same reasons. Let's see. Chloe's fine, Lily's fine. Lars he's like on the border. I would not recommend Ling Xiaoyu if you're a beginner, just because of the amount of stances and things you need to remember. Jack's okay. We just talked about Lee. Kuma's okay. Panda and Kuma are the same. I wouldn't recommend Eddie. Fang's okay. Leo's okay. Elisa's okay. Asuka's okay. Gigas is okay. Claudio's okay. We talked about Devil Jin and Jin. Katarina, okay. Josie, Paul, yeah. Steve, borderline. He's not too bad for a beginner, but you'll get away with a lot of stuff, so you might hit a plateau a little bit earlier. King, I do not recommend for a beginner. He's kind of not playing the same game as everybody else, and that really stunts your growth in the game overall. You're going to end up plateauing pretty early with him as well. Brian's okay, Bob's okay, Miguel's okay. Master Raven, that's another like borderline one. She has a back turn kind of thing going on, but it's not like a central part of her gameplay the same way it is for, say, Ling Xiaoyu. King for beginners. Nina, she's pretty difficult to play. So it's another one of those like execution type barriers. If you're new to execution, I don't recommend her. Yoshi, I think he's okay for a beginner if you're not intimidated by the 300 moveset, because like playing him is not that difficult, but mastering him is very difficult, which is why you don't see him in tournaments very often. Dragunov, again, that's just an execution barrier. If you could do instant wall running too, you're pretty much good to go with him. Horong, that's another like borderline one. He has stances, but it's really intuitive how things go together with him. Like, you don't have to think too much about it when you're doing your strings, especially at neutral. Law, he's okay. Shaheen's okay. Akuma, I do not recommend. Very difficult character to master and win with. You pretty much have to be perfect on your movement and execution to win with him. It's very difficult. Kazuya we talked about. Anna's okay. And Geese, you would think Geese wouldn't be the kind of character I'd recommend, but he's actually pretty easy in this game compared to his King of Fighters counterpart. So if you like Geese, he's okay too. And Noctis, definitely. He's super easy. So for learning purposes, I'm going to try out Josie today. I like messed with her for like 15 minutes before the stream, but it should be fine. Trying to get the learning process. And when you're picking up a new character, it's usually best to put the training mode computer as the same character so that you can examine different moves, weaknesses, and such. We'll go with like a... let's just go with the infinite stage. Asuka is good for beginners, absolutely. Asuka is a very beginner-friendly character. Yeah, Josie is very straightforward and very good beginner character. She's a character I've been meaning to learn just for fun, just because I like her design a lot. So you get here and you're like, what's going on? And the first thing you might notice is that I have something at the top of my screen that you might not have. And that's called Tekken Bot Prime. If you're gonna get into this game, it's pretty much necessary, like you have to have it. Let's see if I can stabilize my frame rate a bit. See if that helps. The thing with Tekken Bot Prime is it's going to show you all of the moves data, which the game does not show you on its own. And we'll talk about why that's important a little bit later. For now, we're going to like just start with, okay, I just picked this character, what should I do? Hit the move list, and you're going to get hit with this like super long, like semesters worth of stuff that you have to learn. With Josie in particular, it's not as bad. There's like, it goes to 86. That's really low compared to some of the other casts. And don't worry about any of this just yet. Go to the end and hit sample combo 1. Like, no matter who you're playing as, go straight to sample combo 1. Because you're going to want to see, like, at a basic level, how your character gets some damage. Even if these combos are not optimal, and usually they're not, it's good to see, like, what's going on. You're going to get your first exposure to what this character's moves look like. And so you're seeing like the inputs at the top, which is important. You're going to be able to see the order that you do the combo in. And you're seeing what they look like, more importantly. And you're going to see them a lot. Because as it turns out, most of the time for most characters, the combo portion after the launcher at the beginning is usually similar or exactly the same all across. You do pretty much the same confirms after you get your first hit. And so we're seeing down forward 2 as a launcher, and we're going to try this combo out. So it's down forward 2, and then forward 3, 3, 3, and then forward, forward 3. So it's like a pretty straightforward combo. It's only 2 buttons. Most of it's with 3 once you get the launch. So the way I recommend hopping into it when you're picking up a combo, especially if it's like, man, I've never learned a combo in my life, like I don't even know what's going on, is just see if you could do the first 2 hits. And that usually starts with just seeing what your move looks like. And just make sure that you can do the down forward too. And that seems like really straightforward, but you'd be surprised how often you get into the match and then accidentally press forward 2 instead of down forward 2, or you get a down 2, or something that you don't want, and then you completely miss an opportunity, or your opponent checks you for it, and you're just in a lot of trouble. So we'll try this with the second hit, which was, let's check again. You can always just reopen it. Forward 3. Pretty straightforward. Goes straight into it. And then it's just double tap 3-3 after that. So just make sure I can get this a few more times. Because you want it to be natural. You want it to be the kind of thing where you don't even have to think about it. Alright, and we got the first few hits of the combo into the screw attack, and screw attacks let you extend. So the ender is going to be forward, forward 3. Now, since we've already done 3 different moves in this combo, I would recommend you just check and see what the last move looks like. Don't like try to just do it in the combo. And just make sure you can do it. If you're not sure what it looks like, reopen the combo example again and just take a look. Because you can see the inputs at the bottom. So you'll know she's going to do that running stomp, and she kind of like screams when she does it. She like lets out a little yell. Pretty to the point. So we'll try it with the combo now. And boom. It's not optimal, but it's something. And you could see how much damage it took off. It took 42, which is, you know, a fair chunk of somebody's health. And if you just learn that and get it to be natural, then when you go to fight an opponent, you're going to be able to actually do something when you hit them. Because that's one of the hardest things of getting into these fighters is you get a hit, right? You're fighting someone, and the damage is like not really worth anything, and then they launch you and take you to town and do all this damage, and you can't keep up. And that's why I always recommend, like, start there. Just go to that first example combo. Really easy to do with most characters, unless you're trying one of the execution heavy ones, and just see if you could do it. And it's not a big deal. If you get that down fairly easy, you can always try the second one or the third one. Like, let's see what this one is. I think it's Butterfly Edge. Yeah, a really important Josie move. You know, just go through them and see what you're comfortable with. Don't worry if they get too hard, because usually the first combo that you do works with every other launcher. Like, this is Butterfly Edge. That's up forward 3. So let's just try it with, like, the first combo that we learned. Let's turn blocking off. It's in the first one. Stand. Yeah, so it's probably gonna work because that hit hits. Yeah, see, same exact combo works. So when you're new, you can just keep it simple, and it's not really something you have to get too into with learning the optimal stuff right away, because you're gonna overwhelm yourself really fast, especially when it starts getting more difficult and you're new to the inputs. So just take some time just like playing with the character. So let's say we learned a combo, right? We know how to do that extender off of most hits. Now what we want to do is look at the move list. And you can usually just skip the first two because you're not going to worry about rage stuff early on in learning a character. So we see the jab combo. You know, you kind of just look at them. You want to see if there's anything of note. That's another like jab confirm. Now that's interesting because it says switch stance. Switch stance. That's really important wording because that means she has a stance. And look right after that, intuitively, usually that's how they do it in the move list. You have all the stance buttons that she's going to do. So she has moves that put her into the stance and then follow-ups. So let's look at them, right? So one is a high. And they're using that number 5 sequence to get back into it. The plushies in the background, you like that? Godlike. Pikachu, Rilakuma. I'm all about it. 2 is a mid. She has a low out of it, so it looks like the stance is mix-up heavy, right? And then she has a mid that knocks down. So that's probably like a wall ender, usually, if you see a move like that. But we'll worry about that later, too. And it looks like she can also command dash out of it. Yeah, so she could command dash. So it's not showing us what she can do out of the command dash yet. That's probably at the end, if I had to imagine. But you already, just going through the first 10, we saw something really interesting, right? That Josie has a stance and she has certain follow-ups. And so now we're just going to keep going. And we'll note to think about that later. So that's a pretty long sequence. Usually that means it doesn't natural combo. Another jab sequence. Looks like she has a lot of options out of her jab. She has a 12 frame 2 poke as well that goes into 3. This is probably going to be a counter hit confirm. Oh, and that's also another switch stance. So let's analyze that for a second, right? So let's go back. Let's look at this one again. The 3 was a mid. And in Tekken, mids cannot be blocked low. If you block low during a mid, you just eat the hit. And her switch stance one is a high. It's a high kick at the end, which means if you were to block low, it would completely miss, and you'd be able to punish her for it. So this is going to be kind of a 50-50 mix-up kind of strategy with this character, and this is just me inferring from what I'm seeing. Does Tekkenbot Prime tell me how long I can delay moves in a string? I don't think so, unfortunately. It only shows recovery and total frames. I don't think it shows cancel frames. And so since this goes into stance, we can assume her stance is super plus on block because she could do a move right out of it. So even though it's like showing minus in the corner, that doesn't account for the stance change. It's just something Tekkenbot Prime doesn't do. So this is it's a mix-up situation. They can call you out for going for it by ducking, or they just block it and then you get to do one of our follow-ups up here. And we have a low out of it, so we do get mixed up here. Pretty interesting. So look at some more stuff. More stuff out of the 2. What's this going to be? So that's a string that probably does it natural combo. They can probably low parry or duck it at the end. So it's another, you know, just interesting mix-up option. So she has a high, mid, and low out of her 2 poke. So we're just seeing, you know, we're not going to worry about how we're going to apply everything yet, but we're going to look at everything. And there's that command dash again. We haven't really seen what we can do out of it yet. I'm sure they're going to show us. Okay, that was in the combo earlier, right? We saw this move. This was part of the combo. This is number 18. Let's go back to the combo. And there it is. So we know that this move is a screw and a combo extender. Let's go back to 18. And you can see the little icon on the right there. That means it's a screw attack. That means it's going to extend your combo. If you ever see that, like this one too, that means that if you can combo into it, it's going to extend your combo. You're going to be able to run forward and continue the juggle. Looks like a combo ender of some sort. Most likely. Probably do it out of a dash. Here's another screw attack. Oh, interesting. So that's a homing screw attack. So that probably deals with weird angles. Move jails? Yeah, we'll get into that. We don't want to get too complicated. When we get to defense, we'll talk about jails. Another interesting string that goes into a low and a high with forward 2. And then what was the speed of forward 2? Our Tekken bot tells us. Forward 2 is 12, so that's pretty good. It's really similar to standing 2. So just like similar options out of her forward 2. I'm not sure what the application of that move would be compared to just using 2. Maybe it has more range. But it seems like you don't get to go into stance out of it, so that would be the disadvantage. We'll just keep going. Okay, that's another one we saw in the combo. It was a juggle extender. It just allowed you to keep juggling a little bit longer. So, you know, that's an important connection. It might sound simple me saying, oh, that's part of the combo, but that's an important connection, is being able to look at this move in the move list and say, oh, the purpose of this is to extend my combo. And what that usually means is I'm not going to just be like using it in the middle of the match, like just randomly. It's the purpose of that move is just to extend my combo. And with so many moves for each character, it's important to understand what the use of your moves are. Because realistically, when you're just playing, you're only going to use a few moves outside of combos, and you got to really figure out what those are. So this is looking like it might be one of them, because look at the range on this. Really nice. Plus on hit. 17 startup. Looks like a pretty good poke. And then it has a follow-up too. Yeah, it has a mid follow-up. So that's probably a move that we would use in a match. Let's keep going. Let's see what this is. A 14 frame move. You can see that at the top. Forward 1+2. This is a 14 frame move, which means this move is used to punish on block when you block something, and we'll talk about that too. Probably means it's punishable itself, so it's not something you're just gonna use. You just only use it to punish. Let's see what this is. Looks like maybe a better wall carry combo extender. Look how far it launches them when you want to move them to the wall. Down forward 1. Does that go into anything else? I can't imagine what... Oh yeah, okay, it goes into more stuff. Okay, it goes into a low. And I wonder if the low true combos into the high, because it looks like it does. Okay, so down forward 1 has its uses. It's a mid, so it's a good move to throw out, and you don't have to do the follow-ups, and you have a few options. Oh, look, we have another one. That's like a frame trap designed to make them press a button. Sonic upper. Okay, that was our combo starter from earlier. So that's a launcher. You can see it. Which means we can do the combo we learned out of it, no matter what launcher it is. Usually. Sometimes there's exceptions. Nice. So that's a sweep, and usually that means that it high crushes. And what high crushes mean, and you've been seeing it the whole time, and we've talked about it, moves being high, mid, or low, is that if your opponent throws out a high at the same time you do this move, it'll miss, and you'll just go right under them and hit them with the sweep. So that's useful. And it has a cancel into the command dash, and we still haven't seen the command dash follow-ups just yet. And okay, it looks like you can go straight into stance out of just down forward 4, and we saw our stance moves earlier. What's this one? Power crush. So probably really, really unsafe based on how it looks. That's a YOLO move. This mid forces crouch. So that's interesting if they take the hit. So that's to call out people who are blocking low without taking too big of a risk. That goes into stance, and that starts with a low, so that's actually really good. That's really interesting. That's probably something you would use pretty often in a match, because people in general are going to be blocking standing and not blocking low. Teach wave dashing. I'll get right on it. No, I think this character has a wave dash, so we'll talk about it. Well, I mean, I don't think she can do it continuously, but she has the crouch dash. So look at this low. This is a 15 frame low, and it's +1 on block. So this is a pretty good low, actually. This is definitely something you would use in a match. Generally, in Tekken, generally speaking, most lows you throw out put you at a disadvantage, even though you hit them. So seeing one that's plus, that's usually a really important tool in your character's toolset, and usually each character has at least one. Nice, that's probably an off-the-ground option if your opponent keeps laying on the floor and won't get up. I'm not sure what this would be for. Looks like a wall ender, probably. Ooh, interesting. What's the speed on this? 11 frames. This is her 11 frame punish. And we'll get into punishes again. We're going to talk about that right after. And it's called the Arnis chain. There's another one that goes into that command dash. The Arnis combo. Shoutouts to ATP. It's like a 14 frame punish. I don't know what you would use it for. Oh, it's a counter hit Fisher. Okay. So if this counter hits, you probably get a knockdown. Yeah. So it's to fish for counter hits. That's probably a whiff punish tool. Tracer kick. Interesting. So that's probably a frame trap. Ooh, that one goes into a low. So she has different options out of this back 4 setup. And it's a lot of it. So that's a good mix-up path, because you can go low, you can go into that knee hit, or you can fake the knee. So that's another move you would probably actually use in a match. Looks like crumple launcher. I don't know if she can follow up on that or not. Backsway, that's a useful whiff punish tool. And she has backsway follow-ups. Okay, so that's important. She gets a crumple out of it. That probably goes into our combo. What else does she have? Probably a safer option. And that's an unblockable. You probably will never actually use that in a match. It's pretty much just for trolling. Butterfly edge, our favorite. We talked about it. So our hop kick. You don't see Josie hop kick too often, but it is a useful move. Just because butterfly edge is so good, because it hops over mids too. Looks like wall carry combo ender, probably. Forward, forward 3, we saw that earlier. Forward, forward 4. Homing attack, okay, so that's like a good like neutral move if they're sidestepping a lot. Oh, here we go, here's our command dash. So it looks like she has a pretty quick jab out of it. 9 frames. That's a 9 frame move out of the command dash. That's really fast. And big launcher. So that's probably her most damaging launcher. I've seen the combo out of it. You just do the knee over and over. Got the low out of it. That's her most iconic low. +4 on block. So it's definitely, that is her best low. 23 damage. Yeah, just really solid low. I can't say I've ever seen that move before, so there must be something about it that's not good. Wall running 3. Yeah, typical wall running 3. Let's look at our wall standing moves. Jeez, that's 13 frames? That's not very good. How about this one? I think this is her launcher. Yeah, she has a 13 frame wall standing launcher, which is super good. Most characters don't have a wall standing launcher that fast. That's super good. And I guess if you're not sure if it's going to punish, you can do a sway out of it. Interesting. It's like a decent mid outer wall rising, 16 frames. Full crouch moves. Wow, that's a +7 low during full crouch. Very, very strong. Taunt, don't need to look at that. 10-hit combo, don't need to look at that. Here's her normal throws. Does she have a command throw? I think, no. Does she? I don't think she has one. Oh, here we go. She has a 1+2. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is a 1+2 command throw. And one more thing. Alright. So she has a high parry. I think it only works with 2 though, I guess. Enemy right punch, so it's very specific. Alright, and that's Josie's moveset. We're gonna get into some application, but give me just a moment. I have to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Restroom break. Be right back. Thanks for tuning in. Alright. Whoa, frame rate. Alright, be cool. Get back up there. Alright. So, we looked at everything, and reasonably, there's no way you're gonna remember it. You're gonna remember barely any of it. But believe it or not, it's still important that you looked at everything. So, the next step in the learning process is just let's think of something that was interesting that we looked at. So, obviously, the one that's gonna stick out the most is the combo that you should have learned. And which means you know these moves now. You know they exist. You know what they do. You know that's going to be your combo extender screw attack. You know those moves. And then the next one that stood out to me was the stance near the beginning that we learned about. Puts us into a stance, and then we have all sorts of follow-ups. So let's set, probably set opponent to block, I guess. And just see what this looks like. Let's hit this one too. And this is just like a good part of the learning process. Like, take something interesting that you saw while you were going through the move list and go examine it. And I'm going to show you how to examine it with our Tekken bot Prime up here. So there's our one. So that was -7 we saw, and it changed afterwards. But -7, 14 frame high, and I looked it up real quick. We're +11 out of the stance. After that, we're +11, so they can't do anything. They have to block the next hit. There's nothing they can do. So we have that, and I'm curious, I think that's a counter hit launcher, if I remember correctly, from fighting Josie players. Let me see if I can... Dang it, it's so hard to key charge on pad. I want to miss with that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you can get the combo out of that. So that's a really good move against people who are not familiar with the character. That's something you can note. You can think about that. If you're fighting someone who's not blocking, they're pressing buttons, you can do that sequence and you're going to get a full launcher combo for it. So that's a tool we want to know about. That's a really important tool. Let's look at some of our other ones. So let's keep in mind also that's a high, right? So if your opponent knows about it, they're going to be able to just duck under it. So obviously we're going to have a contingency plan for that. We have a mid. The 2 is a mid. Can you provide hints for electrics? That's more advanced player, so I'm not going to deal with electrics. I don't know if you were here for the very beginning, but I recommended not to play Mishimas if you're new to the execution. It really, the thing with like having to learn electrics and learn how to wave dash and all that stuff is it really stunts your growth in learning the actual game, because you end up so focused on that by the time you actually get it down and you fight people, you have no idea what you're doing anyway. So like knowing all that stuff ended up not mattering and you wasted all this time. And then that usually, from what I've seen, like beginners who pick Mishimas, they end up quitting. Because they get really discouraged by that. Because then they go fight Unga Bunga Josie, and Josie does this to you, and you're trying to mash electric out of that, and then you just die. So we know that's a high, and her 2 is a mid, and I think that's also a counter hit launcher. So let's take a look. By the way, you can set up a counterattack by pressing all 4 buttons at once. Yeah, so that's also a counter hit launcher. So they have to just block. Like, they can't press buttons here. Otherwise, they're taking a really big risk. So both your mid and high option counter hit launch. I think the mid is less safe, though, which is fine. There's always a downside to each of your strong options. That's just the way the game works. Yeah, I mean, they both have pretty similar frame data. This one's 6, the other one's 7. And then the low, I know that one launches, I've seen it. So you have a low option out of it. The string's just good, right? But it ends with a high, no matter how you go into the stance. Except that one. So doing raw down forward for it is a mid and takes you into stance, but everything else is a high. So they can call you out on it and definitely duck it. But I mean, in any case, the point is, like, we're seeing something about the character. Like, we know, oh man, when I get into a match, I'm going to do this. The other one that was good was the down 3-4, because it's a low first. So it's very likely in a scramble that your opponent is not going to duck the second hit unless they're looking for it and being really attentive. So that's another case where you can set up your mix-up. And we saw we can go into the command dash 2 and get the +4 low. So Josie has a lot of really good close pressure. We can see that. I guess just the way the character is. Let's see if there's just like anything else interesting to look at before we move on to other concepts. This is just like the basics, like how you're going to pick up a character when you're trying out a character for the first time. Alright, punishes. Let's mention punishes. We saw this back 1-1 earlier. So let's do guard all. Guard all. And let's take a look at the frame data. So, let's see if I can find something with Josie that's punishable. DDB, if you're in here, do you know something punishable? Hey, there's one. Look, that one's -12 or 11. It seems to not be able to make up its mind. -12 on that? Okay. It's -13. That one's -14. Jeez. Well, actually, no, it's a stance. Oh, I said, I'm looking for like -10, -11 type stuff. That one's -13. Oh, whatever, it's fine. Let's just talk about what these numbers mean. So, when I do this sequence, you can see it's -12 at the end there. 143, that's another, sounds like another good one. It thinks it's 30. Oh, that one's 15, wow, okay. So you can see it's -13 at the top there, and what that means is that if you do a move that is 13 or less on the startup, which is the third column of our Tekken bot up there, I don't know if it's like hard to read on the stream or not, then you can get a real punish out of it. And this jab is a 10, so if it's punishable, you're always going to get it. So let's set the opponent to do that move. This is also like a really important thing you can do in training mode. You can just go to their move list. You don't even have to record. You just go to their move list and set them to do something. Where is it? Did I pass it? Yeah, I did. Just have them do it. And then play. See how it said punish on the side? That means it's guaranteed. That's a guaranteed damage that I'm getting because of the math of the game. And it's important to know the math, even if you don't want to learn math. Like, you have to. Knowing that that move is minus 12 and I have a 10 frame move ready to punish it, it's like really basic. And we saw my 2 is also a punish from earlier. It's 12 frame. The nice one was that back 1-1 we saw earlier. This is an 11 frame move and the jab sequence is minus 12, which makes it like really nice for punishing. And you know, you just, when you're finding these moves that your character has that are fast like that, you want to find 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's good to just sit here and get used to pressing them. Like my down forward 2, not going to be a real punish. Like she's not blocking after because we didn't record. Down forward 2 is 15 frames as you can see, so what did we say was 15? 1, 4, 3? Let's take a look. Let's see if that's true or if bot's a little off. Dang, is it not in here? I think 1, 4, 3 is not in here. No, here it is. Here it is. Oh, it is. So if someone does a 15 frame move, it's like jackpot for you. On defense, it's jackpot. You're gonna get a free hit for it. Actually, sometimes it's not giving me the punish. Oh, there we go. I'm just not buffering it early enough. Boom, you get a full combo for knowing that. I think this is a good segue into how you can learn matchups. So we'll go hit the character select. Plus on hit, yeah, makes sense. Whoa. Okay, I thought we might have crashed, but we're good. Josie. Who's someone really whack? Let's look at Lily. Lily's super whack, right? Well, actually, I should pick 2 Lilies first. So this section's more for like experienced players, but it still applies to everybody. Let's get a change of scenery. And we're going to talk about like how you can learn how to fight a character. Like a character just messed you up hard on net play. You're super pissed. Come back to training mode. And what the heck just happened to me? Let's see if I can figure it out. 4 gigabytes of RAM. No, I'm pretty sure it's my CPU capping out because I'm streaming. So the load screen was not being my friend. So I'm going to think of like key moves that this character has done to me that mess me up on net play, right? So like her sweep. So we know that's going to be like a down or down forward 3 or 4. Let's just look for it. It's not that. You just want to look for it. You're going to look for that move that was giving you trouble. Oh, boom, there's one, right? This is a really common Lily net play move that I've been hit by many times. And so as you can see, it's a mid into a low. So let's go take a look at it. Excuse me again, I have a little bit of a cough. Alright. So on block, minus 14. Minus 15, I think. Can I hop kick out of crouch with this character? Maybe not. Oh, I can. What's the speed on that? It's 15. Let's see if I can... Yeah, you can punish this with a hop kick. So if your character has a 15 frame launcher from crouch, you could punish this. And universally, generic hop kicks are all 15 frames, which is going to be your up forward 3 or your up forward 4 depending on the character. And that's a real punish. So lilies who are doing this to you online can't actually get away with it. And this is something I didn't know, right? I mean, I haven't really studied Lily myself, but I remember this move being something really annoying that messed me up in matches. But now I know if I see her do that knee, I'm gonna get to launch her for it. That's a big deal, alright? So now you're like, you're coming down from the salt, and you just saw one thing you could punish, and now you end up on a roll. You start learning at you look at other stuff. See what else is in here. Thorn Whip. Okay, that one's not reactable. That's like one of her better lows. The launcher. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is like one of those snake edge type moves that you have to learn. So I've been hit by this, right? Again, apply that same logic. Take that character that you were pissed off at into training mode and look for those moves you were getting hit by that were just ruining your entire play, that you could not deal with, and you're going to find out how to deal with them. And we're going to apply, again, those same exact tricks we were applying when we were learning about our own moves with Josie. We're going to take this, down back 4, we're going to make the opponent do it, and we're going to see what it looks like. Find it again. Yeah, so this is reactable, I'm pretty sure. Let's take a look. It looks reactable. Play. It's super slow, right? 27 frames? Super slow. And it's super minus. Every character in the game is going to be able to launch punish it. Now keep in mind, when you're playing on net play, especially if you're not filtering by 5-bar, the 27 frames becomes close to not reactable. And usually these like slow sweep moves that lead into a ton of damage are all launch punishable. That's like universal Tekken law. That sweeps that lead to you getting launched are launch punishable themselves. Not even necessarily just the slow ones. That goes for hell sweeps as well. But this one is reactable. And that's a really important concept in fighting games, because you have to realize that if something is reactable, that means that your opponent can't use that move if you're good. Like, they just can't use that move if you're good at all. And in Tekken, they especially make it that way, because if your opponent uses it and you're good and you're in practice, you're going to end up punishing them every single time. And new players especially abuse these kinds of moves because it works so well online, and it works so well against players who haven't practiced. But we're going to practice it, right? So I think a good way to do it, if you're going to practice reaction, is to do recording instead. So I'll set up a few sequences. Actually, first, before I set up, let's see like what a mid is. Should you have any like slow mids? I guess this one. No, wait, what was it? It was this, right? Yeah, that's a slow mid. We can use that one. Okay, that's fine. Finish. Now let's go to slot 2. Boom. So we have one that's a mid and one that's a low. And we're gonna just, I think I set it to random, right? Did I? Repeat action. Oh no, you have frequency, so it's always random, I'm pretty sure, in Tekken. Getting mixed up with BB tag. You can practice looking for the move. You don't want to block low unless it's the right move. And she's set to do it randomly, and you can always reset the position. And then get your punish too, right? That was the wrong punish. We know we can launch her for it. So no matter what character you are, get your punish when you block it correctly. You want that to form a habit. Yeah, that's super easy to react to offline. This move is so dumb online, right? But offline, this is free reaction all day. You can see that so early. All day. Alright, so that's like another move that you want to know how to deal with. And this is, apply the same logic. Characters like Steve, like Elisa, who go online and do all of these like super slow sweeps and ducks and stuff. That stuff can be dealt with. You just have to go into training mode and set up opposite sequences and learn to react to it. So like let's do an example of like what happens if you're not reacting, right? The reason that we recorded her doing a mid. If you're not reacting, you're going to expose yourself because you're going to get hit by the mid. if you're anticipating instead of reacting, she's going to hit you with the mid. See? How I'm just, oops, I'm not reacting? That's not good. I'm going to get launched. It's a very important part of the practice that you want to make sure you're reaction blocking. That's why you always do a string that's the opposite, so that you make sure that you're reaction blocking only and not anticipate blocking. Because your opponent wants you to anticipate block and get yourself killed. That's one of the many strategies people do to players that haven't learned defense yet. Alright, let's take another look, right? Let's look for like maybe one more move. But what's her backflip? That's like the way she starts all her mix-up. Is that like a forward move? Maybe one of you guys knows it. I don't play Lily, which is why we're here, right? Because I don't know enough about her and I want to be able to fight her better. Hello. Is that the one? I'm not sure. Let's look real quick. Yeah, that is the one. Right? I think. Well, maybe not. No. What's the one that puts her in back turn? That's the one I want to find. So it's not this. Any Lily players? Down forward 3+4 or back 3+4? No, I want the... It's probably this, right? Yeah, it is this. No. There's one that's like super advantage. Oh, that's -10. That's punishable. There's one that's like super advantage that she does. And it also launches. Does anyone know which one it is? It launches too. It's a flip. It puts her in back turn. Maybe it is this one, right? I don't know. You guys tell me. Does that look familiar to you, DDB? I haven't fought Lily since last time I went to Danger Time. Three plus 4 is this one. There's one of the moves I wanted to look at. So this is pesky. This is a very pesky low. And that one, that's the other one. That one's super good. That's like the Ling one. Try setting the dummy to... Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, that is the one. Okay. So what was it again? I think it was -4. Oops. Yeah, this is only -4? That's a -4 launcher that you see even the best Lilies, they use this a lot. And look at the range. -3 if she's farther. -2 at max range. Can we get 1? I think we can't get 1. -2? That's crazy. Turn on your inputs, sure. Sorry about that. That's nuts. So that's like Lily's main tool. And does this home? I can't remember. This is down forward 3+1. Let's go look. Find the down forward section. By the way, it's always in order, which is super nice and convenient. Oh, it doesn't show us. It only shows us the double, which you don't really do. I feel like I've been hit trying to sidestep it. This is how all the Lilies start her pressure, because it goes into this crazy AOP sweep that's very similar to Ling's. So, alright, well, I mean, I'll talk about like how many problems I've had with this move. So, this, even though it launches, it's safe, first of all. And not only is it safe, it's only -2 to 4, depending on her range, which means that she has a lot of escape options, including sidestep. So you block it, and your reaction is to like jab pressure her, and then let's get the move. Then she does this, and it crushes your high. Let's set her to do it. Actually, I think we have to record in this case, since it's 2 moves. Turn this off. Record. Oops, let's reset the position first. Does a low kick to get out of back turn the fastest. Yeah, she has some crazy stuff from back turn. It's like, because she's a high risk, high reward character, but if she gets you, man, it's like, round's over. Round is super over. Record. And then let's do, actually, let's find out what it is first. Do you know what her launcher is here? Or, let's hit it. The launcher is out of this? Is it just hop? No, that wouldn't launch. That would just knock down. She has, I'm pretty sure she has a launcher out of it, right? Mid launch from back turn. Let's just look at the move list. I'm sure she has a back turn section in here somewhere. Back towards enemy. Not that. Man, is that a launcher? I think that's a launcher. That looks like a launcher. 1 plus 2? I think that's a launcher. Pesky sweep. Okay, yeah, that's gotta be it. So let's record that on the next slot. Okay. So what I want to see, and it's gonna be rough, okay, is if her sweep out of back turn is reactable. And definitely when the game came out, it wasn't, because you can still see it at the top. It's 22 frames. And our human reaction time is somewhere like around 18 and 20 for these kinds of games, especially if you're playing on stick. So it's super rough, right? And the game still has a little bit of input delay. I don't know how much is left, but it's like one of her most go-to moves is that sweep. Her combo, we're not gonna worry about her combos, but she can obviously launch off of it, which is whack. Okay. I don't want to anticipate. Still anticipating. Did this set correctly? Yeah, I have 2. Why is she doing that one every time? Did I record over it by accident? No, she did stack. She just did the other one a bunch of times in a row because entropy. Ooh, I blocked it. Nice. I didn't block it. Oh, close, close. Okay. Nope. Can't press it unless I see it. See, I'm OSing. That's wrong. There we go. Ooh, this is blockable now. Oh, anticipate. I could have died for that. There we go. Oh, anticipate. Could have died for that. It's so fast. Ooh, there we go. This is a really good application of like learning to block stuff because that's launchable. It's minus 26. You're taking her to town if you block that. I guess I can see why Lily became less popular after they fixed the input delay, because that was like her main mix-up tool, right? And it's totally reactable offline. Online, I'm just going to tell you this now, 22 frames, online, you're never blocking that in a million years. In a million years, you're never blocking that. Online, it's a 50-50, and it's one of those things where it's like, you decided to play online, so you don't get an optimal Tekken environment. Minus 9? That's so dumb. Yeah, you're right. It's not punishable. It puts her in a bad situation, but it's not punishable. Yeah, dude, that's super reactable. I don't think that used to be reactable. I think that's newly reactable because they reduced the input delay so much. That's cool. So Lily's mix-up's not as good as it once was. You could totally block that. And this is, you know, this is one of the discoveries I'm talking about when you're going to learn matchups. I didn't know I could block this. I was ready to be disappointed when I set this recording up. I was ready to be like, okay, I can't block it, guys. I mean, what can I say? But it's totally blockable. 22 frames. I think that means Ling's is blockable too. Because isn't Ling's 22? Let's go look. Let's go see if we can block Ling's AOP sweep. And we'll let that be like the last thing, I guess. Because I think we did pretty good, right? We talked about the basics of picking up your character for the first time, and we talked about studying matchups. And it's the same kind of thing, right? Like, we'll look at a few Ling things. Just for a couple more examples. How should I play my defensive game versus someone? Ooh, you know what? That's a good idea. We can talk about that too before we stop for the night. Okay, so we'll do Ling, and then we'll do Devil Jin. How about that? Ling. Let's go to one of my edit stages. This looks colorful. My colorful geometric plane.
Get ready for the next battle.
Is this gonna trip out again like it did earlier? That was kind of fun. Thought the game crashed. Okay, yeah, this stage is really pretty with this mod, by the way. I totally recommend modding your stages if you're ever bored and have the PC version. Alright, let's do, let's just record. Just to be safe. Okay, that's one. Let's get the AOP loop sweep now. Let's do that again. Okay. So that's 23 frames. I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to see that now with the input delay fix. What can I do to learn how to break throws? I can help you with that too. That's another important one. Yeah, if you guys have questions like that, bring them up. Keep bringing them up. We'll talk about that stuff. Let's make use of the stream time then. Alright, let's see if we can block this. Oh, so close. I think this one's harder to see, I think, because she's already blocking. Well, I got it that time. Because she's already ducked down, so you don't have the cue of her body moving like you do with Lily. So this one's still whack. Let's keep practicing. Let's see if we can get consistent. Oh, I fell for it. Yeah, this is still whack. Okay. Oh, it was close. Okay. This is way harder than the Lily because she's already on the floor. Ling's just too good. Come on. Oh, it looks like she's doing it. It's such a good 50-50. Yeah, that's just really hard because she just doesn't have an animation cue for her starting it. Keep trying. That's, yeah, I think that's beyond me. Maybe one of you guys can try it out. See if you can block Ling sweep. Oh, that time I got it. Maybe I got lucky. Probably did, because look, I anticipated there. That's rough. Let's look at some other Ling things just so I can demonstrate, like, investigating strings. Let's turn this one off. And go to the move list. Same kind of stuff. I wonder what a good one to look at is. Ling has so much, like, stupid options, right? I guess I play the character so we can just go look. Like, that's a common one. So she has back turn out of this, which is something, if you've ever fought Ling, that's her 10-frame punish, so you for sure encountered it. So you want to realize that this has back turn by looking at it. You know, you've probably gotten hit by it. You'll be able to find that in the jab section of the move list, near the beginning. Boom. Right here. So that's where you'd find it, because it's a jab. So it's always near the beginning. So we know, oh man, this puts Ling in back turn. And then you've probably seen a lot of things out of back turn you've been hit by, right? So go look for the back turn. I think it's like near 100 or something. Hypnotist. Crouching. Back towards enemy. Okay, it starts at 69 giggity. And there's a lot of things out of back turn you've probably seen or been hit by. It's their most famous one, her launcher out of back turn. Same kind of thing we were doing with Lily, right? Except Ling's is way heavier, which is why I don't recommend her to beginners. So another famous one, her safe mid option. I wonder if they put the new one in here. She got a new move. It's like super whack. Well, I guess it's not a new move, it just has new properties, and it's that. It's a hard knockdown now. It's one of her best new moves, but it's reactable. It's 24 frames. You can definitely see it and block it. So, like we were doing before, let's set this one to block, and let's investigate these moves. Guard all. So out of back turn, this is safe, -5. You see Ling's do this a lot out of back turn, and that's because it's her safe option. And just from playing Ling, I can tell you this is a counter hit launcher, so she's fishing for you to press a button. And we already saw she's plus on hit out of the sequence on hit, but on block she is not, so she can't press whatever she wants if you blocked it. So she has a follow-up that will mess you up if you try to mash when she's -5 here. So the general idea here is knowing, okay, that's a high, right? The second hit, that's going to cover her and stop you from pressing buttons. So what you can do instead is buffer a crouch jab, I'm pretty sure, unless it jails too hard. But we can check. Wrong page. Repeat action, moveless, and I think it was number 69. Okay. Might jail, I might not be able to. No, you can duck it. Yeah. It looks like if you try to buffer a crouch jab, it doesn't give it to you, so you have to like duck and quickly do it. I think if you do it with the same timing, you'll always be able to reverse the pressure on her. Wow, that even floats. If you do it early enough. That's pretty nuts. I hate that counter hit launcher. Yeah, it's counter hit launcher. It's really good. Only -5. But you can expose that high follow-up if the Lings are doing the follow-up. And then the famous one that I think everyone needs to know is Mistrust. One of our most common options. But look at that. It's -17, 18, sorry. You can always launch her if you block this move. It's really fast, yes, it's really fast and it's dangerous because it's fast, but you can always launch it. And if you have an 18 frame launcher, you could use a better launcher. You don't have to use your hop kick or 15 frame go-to launcher. Always make sure you're punishing Ling when she does that. Another important thing when you're investigating a stance character is, I wonder if we could just, I guess I have a way we can do it, right? Let's put her in AOP and just make her like do this over and over. The most common mistake you see beginners make while playing neutral is pressing the same launcher over and over. It's something we kind of talked about earlier. When you find that first combo and you learn how to do it, you get hype, right? And you really want to land it in a match because it's your main way to get damage. But it's like we talked about earlier. You have to find your other moves that you're going to use in the match that aren't going to get punished by their jab for doing it or by getting launched yourself. The most common mistake I see is people just fishing for their launcher over and over. Shimon versus Caesar. So an important thing about fighting Ling is finding out what can hit that. And you need to have it memorized. You need to completely have this memorized. Whatever your option is, for Ling herself, it's just her down forward 2-1 catches it. Is knowing, like, I have a move that is going to launch Ling Xiaoyu when she AOPs. And then after that, you can think about your opponent's AOP habits and when they're mashing it and etc. Some hop kicks miss, so be ready for that. I was actually seeing if mine's one of them. Yeah, mine is one of them. See that? It misses if she does the duck. So you have to have a move on lockdown that's not going to miss. And you need to just go into training mode against characters like this, characters like Eddie, and see what is going to hit them off the ground. And you'll always have something. Damn, she's getting crunk? What is she doing? Getting turned over AOP, huh? Alright. Alright, let's go to Devil Jin. Yeah, I mean, pretty much what DGB is saying. The way I always beat people in green ranks and below, and even a lot of yellow ranks, is I just stand still, and then they throw out something unsafe and either miss and I whiff punish them, or I block it and I punish them with the appropriate punish. Like, I win by just Luigiing it. Luigi wins by doing nothing. That's how it goes. You have to, like, think about, okay, what's my good lows that are plus on block? You have to look at all that stuff, and if you forget how I applied that stuff, I think we're probably saving the archive, right? So you can just check the archive and, again, just follow the same logic of how I found useful moves with Josie and how to apply them while still understanding their weaknesses. So I'll do Ling and... where is it? Devil Jin. Let's do wall example.
Get ready for the next battle.
It's a natural beginner mistake, right? Because it's exactly just the line of thinking that anyone would fall into, because it's the first thing you're going to be able to do correctly, most likely, is get your first major combo down. Can I not put myself on... Dang, that sucks. I can only put it with me facing them on the wall, but I want them to put me on the wall. So we'll do the stand and approach strat. So we're going to go off of Shadow Streak's earlier question. I'm on defense against Devil Jin. Everything sucks. What do I do? So, I mean, it's one of the things that just makes him so scary all the time. Right. I keep getting my pages mixed up because I play other fighting games. Where's forward 2? Yeah, that one. And is it called Demon's Tail with him? All right. No, it's not. It's 4, right? Did I miss it? What is going on here? Who's Hell Sweep? Is it just spinning demon? Why does he do both hits? Do I have to do it myself? Why does he do both hits? Damn it, I wanted to do it the easy way. Alright, whatever. Hold on, first let's make sure that we have the correct input. It's 4, right? Yeah, it is 4. Okay. Okay, yeah, that stuff is cheap, right? Can I get myself back on the wall, please, sir? Okay. Face me! Face me! Come here. Just better not delete what I just did. Come here. Alright. Repeat action, please come back. Alright, they're both here. So, in this situation, you're not going to be able to react. It's just, you're not going to be able to react. Whoa, he missed. Man, Tekken's wild. Like, look at the frame data on that. That's a 16 frame low launcher. 16 frames. 16 frames. So I'm going to tell you, like, because we were investigating earlier, right? 16 frames, that's outside human reaction. You're not going to be able to see it. There's nothing you can do to just be good and block it every time. Never going to happen. You're in this awful situation where he just gets to take you to town and you have to deal with it. Let's turn this one off real quick. 0. Put myself on the wall. I hope he faces me. Yeah, he does. Look what happens if you duck. He just does this super good mid. He's going to get the full wall combo. So, most of the time... Like, actually, let's talk about this editing bridge before I get into that. I'll explain my reasoning in a second. Okay. So, he's only doing the hell sweep. Punishable. Completely punishable. Like, punishable to the heavens. How minus is it? It's super minus. Let's look again. Minus 23. You're going to be able to get, like, your best launcher. Oops. Mine is fully charged while standing, too. You're going to be able to get your best launcher. And that's pretty much true for the entire cast. You're going to be able to get your best launcher. And knowing this, if you're confident and you go into training mode and block this hell sweep over and over and punish it, you're going to start thinking, man, I hope this dude hell sweeps me. I hope he hell sweeps me over and over so I can do my full combo. And it's important for you to actually go into training mode and do this. Even though it's not seeable, set him to hell sweeps so that you just get good at doing your punish, so that it becomes second nature. Make sure that you can always do it so that when you actually get it in the match, you're going to make them pay so hard. And what it's going to do is it's going to make you so much less scared of it. Because you know, like, oh man, even if I'm at a pixel, if they throw that out and I'm right and I blocked it, I win. Like, I'm gonna take them all the way to the other wall. I'm gonna use my rage art or rage drive. They're dead. Like, I killed him for hell sweeping me. So let's talk about the problem. Guys, it's never that simple. Where's Laser Scraper? Did we already pass it? Let's see, I think we already passed it. Where's forward, back, forward? Alright. This one. Can we get him to do the other ender? Yeah, that's cheap. Look how far away it puts you from him. So, he's guessing, right? He's gonna, like, hope that you're greedy and want to block his hell sweep. So, check out this guy's options that he just gets on a 50-50 that you can't plan for. He has this, which wall sticks you, you're just screwed, and it puts him so far away that you can't, even though it's -8, you're not going to get anything going. I threw out my 10 frame, completely missed. Throw this out, and it's blockable for him. He's not blocking because we have him set to repeat. Like, you just miss. What's my... Even that misses, right? He's going to be able to whiff punish you if you try to retaliate, especially on the wall. So he just has this super good mid, right? And that's not even his only one. He gets to throw this out, too. And it's just as silly, right? Look how far away he is. And that was a whiff punish. I couldn't block in time. All I did was whiff jab. And he just did it again, and it hit me. And all I did was whiff jab. And he didn't have to plan for that to whiff punish me. It just automatically does because it pushes him back so far. And look what happens if it hits you. You can still AOP it, even though they buffed it. So, the theory behind the Deviljin player, when you're fighting him, is they're not going to do the hell sweep that often, right? Because they know that you have sat in training mode like you're supposed to, and sat there and did the launcher over and over while you listened to your favorite music or whatever you're doing while you're training mode, watching Eris' stream maybe, and he knows that. He's like, okay, they're going to be able to full punish if they guess block my hell sweep. So they're going to choose their super safe, cheap mid option a bunch of times in a row that makes it almost impossible for you to escape the wall unless your movement is perfect. And yeah, this is what's up, dude. This was actually a special request. Caesar's our resident Devil Jin player, so if you ever want to practice against this character and apply this stuff, he's here. He'll help you out. Welcome, my friend. Yeah, so the Devil Jin player is going to do these mids over and over. And they're super safe, and the only way you're going to escape is with like really proper sidestepping and guessing on which mid option he's choosing. And the thing is, if you're good at that and you're patient, you're going to escape eventually. Like, it's going to happen. Which way do I step that again? I think it's right. I was always lean. Yeah, it's right. You'll find a way to escape because he's going to hard commit eventually. Because if he only does 2 hits, you're going to be able to move forward on him, right? And I'm not going to record him doing that. We'll just say, like, if he omits the 3rd hit because he's scared of you sidestepping it, you're going to be able to move forward on him. That's how you're going to escape the wall, which is, you know, that's what you want. It's the most important thing. So if the Devil Jin catches on that you're a really patient player and, you know, you're dealing with his mids properly, Resident Evil Devil Jin player, then what's going to happen is the Devil Jin player is going to start pulling your favorite back out. You're waiting for his mid, right? And he gets you with this, and he gets a full wall combo out of it. You're going to take a ton of damage into the same mix-up again. And you end up in this like super fear-driven state where you're like, oh man, I really need to block that next time. Because, you know, he's going to kill me on the next hit. He's finally doing the hell sweeps. I really need to block it. So you wake up and then you're ready to block it. You're like, I got this, and then boom, you just get hit by the mid and you lose. You lose the round. And that's what Devil Jin does to you at the wall. A good Devil Jin's not going to pull out the hell sweep that often. They're going to pull it out when they believe that you're not afraid. And they want to make you afraid. And if they successfully make you afraid, he wins. And I'm saying this like there's some solution, you know, and there's really not. Devil Jin is just super good, like, for that reason. Because his mids are so good and have so much pushback. It's like crazy. And yeah, exactly what Caesar just said in this chat. If Devil Jin doesn't commit to the 3rd hit, it's your turn, which is a hard guess on your part. But that's, you know, that's one of the escape points. Let's go back to that. The 2nd hit here, if he doesn't do the 3rd one, you can escape. You can jab him, and usually jabs are a +1 on block, or whatever you want to do, right? Find a way out. Maybe just sidestep out of the way and start moving forward. Usually you want to do something plus and oppressive because the Devil Jin's not going to be able to act. But of course, the mix-up, it goes into layers, is if the Devil Jin's like, oh, he's going to try to escape here, then boom, the 3rd hit comes out, and just like that, you're stuck to the wall and take a full combo that this computer player is smashing on me. It's nuts. But anyway, I hope that answers your question, Shadowstick. It's just hard, man. Like, that's the reason Devil Jin's top tier and continues to be top tier, is because his mids are so freaking good and safe. Like, he doesn't need to launch you to win. He never needs to launch you. All he needs to do is push you to the wall one time. Even just by playing the neutral game with his forward 2, push you to the wall one time, and he's going to get that mix-up on you, even if you haven't even been hit yet. Like, I'm just spacing this dude out, and I'm like, oh man, I don't want to deal with all this stuff. Let's put the other one in here too. Like, oh, I'm trying to get away, and then I end up blocking something, and no, I'm at the wall, and then he gets all the mixed up now. He gets to do whatever he wants. Like, let's apply it. Like, how am I going to escape, right? Just the sidestep. Boom, he got me with the hell sweep. It's at any time, right? The computer's just set to random, and it's this good, you know? Tried to duck the hell sweep, You're really just guessing. Boom, he would have got a full combo. He did get a full combo. Even just on our little random recordings. Should I be more aggressive? What character are you playing? That's what it really depends on. Devil Jin's neutral is so oppressive. Like, I think Ling versus Devil Jin's an awful matchup for Ling. Like, she really can't stop him from just throwing out forward 2 and laser scraper all day at neutral. Like, she only has this, and she can get electric out of it and just die for it. Lily, I mean, it's tough, right? You need to get into the range where your backflip, the down forward 3+4 we looked at earlier, is gonna reach, right? But they can't reach you. You need to be in that range, but then you also need them to not be trying to sidestep it, which means you have to enforce homing moves. So that's probably a hard matchup, I would imagine. Maybe not as hard as it is for Ling, but you have to, like, first you have to discourage them from sidestepping so that you can do a max range down forward 3+4, and then you have to really abuse down forward 3+4 to keep the pressure on. But I think the line of thinking's right. You're gonna have to keep the pressure on as Lily to win that matchup. Not let Devil Jin get his turn. If Devil Jin gets his turn, no matter what character you are, it's like, that's it. And you can watch so many high-level tournaments with Qdans where he has, like, you know, 10 HP left, and he lands one hell sweep and takes them to the wall, and they just can't do anything, and it's over. Yeah, exactly what DDB's saying. If you got them throwing out their options and they're not baiting your down forward 3+4, then you're gonna be able to whiff punish and get in with it. But if they're just gonna chill it at neutral and sidestep and wait for you and wait for you to get close, your close options with Lily are not that great. So, like, a good Devil Jin player, it's just so hard to deal with. He's just the neutral king of Tekken 7. I think he is. I think he's, like, slightly better than Jack at controlling the neutral, maybe only because of Hell Sweep. Hell Sweep's so silly, right? You end up, like, so scared when you're in, like, this range right here. You're so scared of his two mid options that you're blocking. You're like, oh man, I gotta get back to a far range. And what happens is you're, like, so worried about that range that out of nowhere this dude just runs up to you and hell sweeps, and you're not ready. You're totally not ready. And you could say, yeah, I can react to him, like, suddenly wave dashing up to me, right? But then he could just do a mid option instead. He can do the 4 option, or the 3 option, excuse me. There's so many mix-ups when you're trying to react to something that's unreactable. Yes, I did. It's in, it'll be in the archive. And I'll accept other questions. So, before we stop, I mean, it's open to you guys, man. Is there anything you guys want to see or ask or talk about that maybe I can answer? When is the Tekken Bowl tutorial? You gotta come to a special Omi O Might session at my house to get the Tekken Bowl hands. Offline only, amigo. I gotta hydrate like the bot told me to. Oh yeah, throws, right? Is he still here? I mean, it's useful for everyone who's, you know, still learning, but since he asked, it'd be cool if he's still here. I know he had some homework to do. I guess you can really show it with anybody. Ling's a good one to show it because she has a command throw for every button. Oh no, let's do Kazumi. Kazumi is a great example. With a small stage so we can use the wall.
Get ready for the next battle.
Move list. What's her button? What is it? Down, forward, almost two? This, yeah, this amazing throw. Whoa, frame rate. Why is my frame rate going crazy on Kazumi specifically? Alright, let's do restart setting wall. Let's talk about throws. In Tekken 7, unlike anime fighters, throws are very reactable. You see this purple thing come up, and you have a long time to press the button before you actually get thrown. It's a very long animation. It's very seeable. It's not something where you have to be like, oh man, are they going to throw? You can just wait for it. So what I just did there is Kazumi's 1+2 command throw, which is like the end of the world if you get hit by it. So much damage just for taking a throw. And I don't even think I'm doing the optimal wall combo, which doesn't matter. I'm not a Kazumi player. So when we're talking about throw techs, there's 3 different kinds. Normal throws can be teched by pressing 1 or 2 on reaction. As soon as you see the purple, you just press it. And that's both of them. It doesn't matter. You can press 1 or 2 on normal throws. But command throws, you have to know what button it is already. And I think that's her only one, right? Yeah, that's her only one. Her command throw is a 1+2. Usually the input on the move list reveals what the tech is for which buttons you have to press. Like, this is a 1+2 input to do the throw, so it's a 1+2 tech. That's most of the time that's true. Sometimes there's cases where it's like dumb and it doesn't work that way because this game has a lot of legacy stuff before they had consistent universal systems. But it's the kind of thing where your approach to teching throws in Tekken is to know what your opponent is going for. If I'm at the wall against Kazumi, she wants this throw so bad because she's going to get so much damage for it. And she's going to fish for it. She's going to fish for it super hard. So if you're fighting Kazumi at the wall, or any character, and you're in this kind of situation where it's like, oh man, that throw is going to end the round, man. I'm going to get hit by it, and I'll die if I get hit by it. Then what you know is I need to tech it with 1+2. I play this game on pad, so for me that's simply L1. And you're just going to react. So let's set it up. First let's reset. Oh, actually, we probably don't need to. Like an action you want to repeat. Oh, I'm not even recording. Okay. Okay, there's one. Oh, let's reset the position first. I guess I should have her dash up. Let's start over. And let's get her off the wall. Because then we can do this one, so we'll have a nice variety. All right, reset. Okay. Oh, reset. How big is the monitor you're playing on? I'm playing on a 24. And then my big TV has you guys, the chat. Okay, that should be good. So we're gonna try to tech her throw. Boom, easy. Keep it up. Missed it. Try again. Got her. Keep it up. Just wait for the pink. As soon as you see pink, press it. It's totally seeable in this game. And since it's seeable, it's not something that you need to have a bunch of fear about. As long as you know what the button to tech your opponent's throw is, you're good to go. You just need to know what their best throw is. In a lot of cases, the character only has one command throw, unless it's like King or something, right? Ling Xiaoyu being one of the more annoying ones, she has a command throw for each button. And this is something you can discover by going into training mode for each one. Unfortunately, there's no resource that just has a list. I really wish there was. But you can learn this, right? You can learn to tech every character's best throw. And when I say best throw, what I'm saying is there is an unreactable mix-up involved with this. Now I'll show you what that is. Alright, let's reset first. Start recording. Okay. So what I just did there was a normal throw, which needs to be teched with 1+2. Or not 1+2, 1 or 2. And the throw we've been teching is with 1+2. And so if we're looking for her command throw, we're going to get the incorrect throw. In that case, that was the 1+2. We're good to go. In that case, it was a normal throw, so I took the hit. Even though you can clearly see, and once again, you can clearly see I pressed the input, you can't tech it with 1+2, or normal throw. So in a last hit situation, it's a true 50-50. You're just... Well, not a true 50-50, because you can duck them too, right? Which is risky because they can mid. There's layers. You can duck both of them. Like if I just chill. Tiger. There are a few throws in the game that you can't, but this is obviously risky because Kazumi's spamming down forward 1 all day, and at the wall you're dead for that too. But let's actually go to the wall. Come here, you. I'm too lazy to Korean backdash. Turn this one off. Get over here. Oh, don't tackle me. So here's why at the wall you should just tech with 1+2 unless you're in a last hit situation. If she gets the normal throw, no wall combo. And she's far from you, which means you're going to be able to escape her pressure. No wall combo, and it pushes her back really far. And so it's okay for you to give her the normal throw unless it's going to kill you on the hit. And it doesn't do that much damage. I think it's 35. So compared to taking the other one, that's pretty good. And so again, like the lesson here is go through a character's moveset, learn what their good throw is, and make sure you can deal with it.
Welcome to the King of Iron Fist tournament, Ling Xiao Yu. Get ready for the next battle.
Ling's like heavy hitter one is a 1+2. So like usually that's the one you're gonna scout for because it just straight up 40 damage, side swaps. It's just a good throw. And the mix-up that Ling gets out of that is that she has this one, which is a 2 break. And if you don't know how to deal with it, she gets a full combo out of this, and it's really obnoxious. I did a little wrong there. I haven't played Ling in a while. But you can input down to just fall on the ground and not take the combo on that. And you can also input forward plus throw to make your character instantly turn around so that you don't take the combo. Very important. So she doesn't get much reward out of this if you know what you're doing. It's 15 damage. If you know what you're doing, you'll take no follow-up damage, so she'll only get 15. So this throw is really just a noob killer. So you'll scout for this one when you're playing like a good match with Lin. You'll want to tech 1+2, and so she'll be like, fine, you're gonna tech 1+2, I'll do this. And if you don't know how to get out of it, like after the hit, so that you're not back turned, she's gonna kill you. Why is it so much damage? But yeah, the thing is, like, it's not that great for her. It's 15 damage and puts her far away. So it's another example of you just need to know what button to tech with. If you know the layer, like, okay, I need to tech with 1+2 so she doesn't get me with this command throw, then all you're going to deal with is a measly 15 damage the whole time. Or you're just going to tech because they're going to get greedy and keep going for it. Like, against Ling, I say always tech 1+2. And just make sure that you know how to deal with the 2. Move list. Boom, on the floor. Easiest way is to just hold down as soon as you see that you took the hit. Then she'll never get the mistrust launcher. You'll be good to go. Yeah, that's just like another example. Against King and Ling, yeah, I mean, King, it's another one of those things where I said, like, King is not playing the same game as the rest of us. King is whack. I'll give you, like, a quick rundown of how to deal with, like, beginner Kings so that they don't roast you as hard. King is totally a scrub killer. It's really not fair. I usually tell people, if you're learning the game, don't even fight King, because you're not going to learn anything.
Get ready for the battle.
See if I can remember the move names. It's not a chain throw. Get out of his chain throws. His moveset is so long. I don't know what the order is. Where's Giant Swing? That's all I'm looking for. Oh, Giant Swing. Okay. I think we're in the right place. Tombstone and Giant Swing. Okay. Excuse me. Boom. Look at that one first. This is the first of the main King throws you have to deal with. It's a 2-tech. He has to do it from up close. He has to already be near you to get it. The next one you'll commonly see, which... Oh, whoops. This will also deal with them going for the rolling cradle, is the Giant Swing. This is a 1-tech. If they go for the Giant... Or not the Giant Swing, the... Rolling Death Cradle chain throw, this will also escape that. So, up close against King, usually you're teching 1. Because Giant Swing does a ton of damage and you don't want to deal with Rolling Death Cradle at all. So, up close against King, you want to press 1. So that you can get out of this. The mix-up is for him to go for the pile driver instead. Then you press 1 and he takes you to town. And it sucks. It does a lot of damage because King just gets unfair mix-up. Okay, let's see. I think this is the other one. Oops, not 80. Yeah. So this one, King has to do from a distance. It's a wall running. So let me talk about, like, why that's important. If I can do the input. Yeah, let's try it again. Okay, so you can tell the break of a throw based on... Dude, you're never going to react to that. Oh, you mean just for learning it? Yeah, just for learning it, that's a good way to learn it. If you can't figure it out, what he said in the chat. But you won't be able to react to it in a match. Okay, so really common King situation is he just knocked you down and you're about this far from him. Or I set the recording to put him that far. This is a 1+2, and it's his most common from far option. So if you're, I think I pressed it too early. If you're far from King, you want to like be thinking 1+2 instead of 1. And it's the hardest part about learning King is remembering that. To be like, oh, he's kind of far away, so he has access to this throw now. The only way to do it is to first know about it, right? Know that when he's far, he has the running one, which is 1+2. And the second thing is you need to fight a King so that you can get in the habit of knowing it. And it's really whack. Oops, not report. Move less. Back to Giant Swing. The general one, even at the wall, he has another one that throws you into the wall, is that it's gonna be a 1 tech. You wanna, the general tech against King that you wanna do is 1, usually. Until he's far away. When he's far away, you switch it to 1+2. So that you can tech that one. That's like the beginner's gist of King. I mean, he has a lot of other like silly throws because he could do them out of jabs and stuff. But it's helpful to just at least know up close, tech 1 until they're switching to Tombstone, and then start teching 2. And then even that's risky. Like if they do the Tombstone, I would only try teching it like once because then they're gonna go for Giant Swing again. Or rolling Death Cradle. And then when they're at a distance from you, tech with 1+2. It's scary. He's really tough to deal with. I mean, it takes so much practice to deal with him. But if you can't do that, then you don't even get to play Tekken against him because he's just going to kill you with the same 2 moves over and over without having to think. Most Kings, especially in the low level, are like super unga bunga. Like they don't know anything about Tekken. So once you start teching their throws and then putting the offense on them, it's going to feel really good. You're going to be like, wow, they have no idea how to deal with me now. It feels super good. You'll see what I mean. It just takes practice, and it's annoying, but you could do it. It's still not annoying as Yoshi. All right. Any last requests? How you guys doing? Yeah, get him. No, Marcus isn't bad. I mean, he's got a lot to learn, but he's not bad. He's learning fast. Taking turns. Revenge? We did talk about that. Unless there was something more you wanted me to say on it. Yeah, we could talk about it a little bit. Let's do yeah, Kazumi's a great one, right? No, not King. Chain throws? Nah. Chain throws applies a similar logic, right? I mean, you need to find out what the next button is and tech it.
Welcome to the King of Iron Fist, Kazumi Mishima. Get ready for the next battle.
BM? I don't know what that means. So Kazumi is the ultimate, it's always my turn character. What it means for it to be your turn in a fighting game is you can stop blocking now and challenge. And one of the most common mistakes beginners do alongside just throwing out launchers is they don't block. You get on them and you hit them with this and they try to press a button immediately. So let's talk about when you should and should not challenge. So if you get hit by this, look at our Tekken bot Prime, +6. +6. +6. So your fastest move is 10 frames. 10, right? So if I'm +6, that means I get to move 6 before you. So the earliest you can hit me is, if you add the 6, 16, even with your jab. Which means if I choose a move under 16 frames to hit you, you're just going to eat the hit. You're not going to escape. So let's take a look. Record. Bagoosh, 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 bagoosh. What can I do to get out of this? It wouldn't even let me. That's the funny part. I'll do it again. I wonder why I'm getting out of that, right? Is the frame data wrong on the Tekken bot? I shouldn't be able to jab out of that. Oh, there we go. Let's fix the recording. Ooh, let's use the string too. Kazumi gets a string out of this. Oh, let's get to record. Okay, try again. This will be a good example. Let's set just that one. Okay, I know how I want to show it. Okay. So if I got hit here and I try to jab her, you see how I just got hit? Boom. It's not my turn. Because she's so plus, I'm not going to be able to hit her here. So now let's try blocking it. Ooh, the frame data is different. She's -3 now, which means my jab is first. That's important to know. So you might be thinking, okay, so yeah, if she does the hand swipe, we're in there, right? We're going to jab out. She's not going to be able to do her pressure. This is where Tekken mix-up starts. I'm not saying this challenge point's wrong, okay? That is a challenge point you can do against Kazumi to take your turn and steal her turn. But she has another option out of it. Let's see what happens when I try to get out. Oh, just got hit hard. She has a follow-up and it wall sticks. Super brutal. So it's like, oh, but how would I know, you know? How am I going to get out? How do I know which one she's going to do? Let's put them both back on. The answer is you don't know. It's more important to know that that's a potential spot that you can get out. Because a good Tekken player is never going to give you something for sure except as a last result. See, boom, tried to get out, punished. Punished. Can't get out. Can't get out. So I'm being like overly aggressive and really trying to get out. And this is like the common mistake beginners make, is they really want to get out, which is why characters like Kazumi and Anna totally ruin beginners' days. Got out there because the jab sequence, right? Oh, punished. So let's see what happens if I just block. Right? There's nothing wrong with that. What if I just chill? I don't have to do anything. Remember when I was saying earlier, like, the biggest thing I do to defeat beginners in this game is just stand still and do nothing? This is a prime example. Ooh, there's the second hit. That's the second hit that earlier we were getting hit for trying to jab out. Instead, I blocked it. Now look at the top right. -13. You remember when we talked about punishes earlier? You need to know your 10, 11, 12, and 13. This is a -13 move, which means by being patient, I have a guaranteed escape route now because they took the risk. Boom. Let's set her to only do it. That's a real punish, no matter what. All because they took the risk. So I'll turn the other one back on. And they don't have to commit to the second hit, right? They can just keep going forever and keep doing swipe and jab. And I can take the risk and try to get out and then keep getting hit and losing all this health against Kazumi. And then, oh, I got lucky this time, right? I got out. Now let's set a third one. Let's get closer first. Not that one. Her good lows are down back, I think. Yeah, that one. Okay. Oh, let's do something after it, too. It's so plus on hit. So if, you know, the player knows that you're just going to be patient forever, they can make your life pretty difficult. Oh, the low. I'm not ready because I'm just being patient, right? I'm just waiting. I'm waiting forever. But eventually, you're going to find that escape, right? You just keep waiting. Oh, I got hit by the low. And that totally messes up your pace. This is when you start labbing those delayable moves, right? So we can punish those trying to pull your strat. What are you talking about? Are you talking about Anna? Oh, you mean just in general? Yeah, I mean, this is like how a lot of characters' pressure works. It's super good. And Kazumi messes up my frame rate. And so once the player's throwing in lows too, it really messes up your whole like be super patient strat. It really messes it up. But even then, you know, you can still wait and get the legit punish and the legit escape, and it becomes your turn. Because you're plus on hit, you're going to be able to go in and continue pressure, and that you can do all the Kazumi stuff, you know, etc., etc. But if they're smart, they're going to be like, oh, you know, they think I'm going to do something unsafe. I'm just never going to do something unsafe. So, you know, how do we deal with the mix-up then? There's another risk you can take to deal with the mix-up, and it's to block it. And you're taking a hard guess here. You can also low parry it. Depending on what you need in that moment. Maybe you need the wall carry. So, like I said, you could definitely take a risk to get out. Yeah, it's fine though. I mean, for purposes of learning, it's not a big deal. So if you're hard guessing the low, this is going to happen to you. It's just the same situation. And, I mean, that's the name of the game. You need to make hard guesses to get out, right? But you need to first understand those guesses. You can't just sit there and mash buttons. Because your opponent's going to be like, oh, they're mashing? I'm just going to do the same thing over and over. That's never going to let them escape, ever. You know, which in this case is for Kazumi to just always do the follow-up. I'm like, oh, I want to get out. I'm mashing. I'm going to hop kick. I'm going to hop kick. I want to hop kick so bad. And get back up. Hit me. I'm trying to hop kick, and like that's what beginners do, right? They panic because the other player gets in, and they start just really trying to hit him back. And you have to just stop and wait. You need to understand what your opponent's doing, and that's what makes Tekken so expansive. Is you have to apply everything we learned today, and going back and figuring out what moves were bothering you against a player and seeing their weaknesses. You know, in this case, you could say, "Oh, that Kazumi was messing me up with that hand swipe," and then, you know, you pick Kazumi in training mode, you go down the move list, it's down forward 1, you might take a second to find it, and you find out, oh, it has this follow-up, and then, you know, you find out it's frame data on hit, it's frame data on block, and then you can start formulating a plan of escape and make, instead of it just being like you're mashing randomly and killing yourself, it's educated matching. It's like, oh, they have 3 options here, if I jab here, it'll beat this option. If I block, it lets me punish this option, and it's all just studying. It's massive studying. It's really methodical, and it takes a long time, and it takes a lot of commitment. And the easiest way to get into it is to start by just labbing against characters you really don't like. If you're sick of Caesar's Devil Jin, go put Devil Jin in training mode and make sure you know how to deal with all that stuff so that next time you fight him, you can apply some of it. And it's not an overnight thing, right? I mean, you could learn how to deal with it and then go into the match and freeze up and do all of it wrong, but it comes with time. The more you see it, the better you're going to get at it. It takes a long time. That's just Tekken. The shade. No, I just say that because I know Caesar's beating up most of the rest of the CPP esports club right now. He's definitely pulled ahead in understanding of the game. But it's never too late to catch up. Especially since we went over such like methodical way of approaching the game tonight. Been live like what, 2 hours? Almost 2 hours? Hydration bot should be stopping by any second. You gonna do a SC6 video? SC6? It's like the same thing, dude. I played the beta of it. It's like the exact same thing except way less moves. Like, you open a move list in Tekken, and you're just like, oh man, I have to learn how to deal with all of this. And then SE6, characters have like 20 moves. It's like an anime fighter. Alright, anything else? Can't wait for full screen ring outs. Man, what a joke. That game's rough. If I did a lobby one day, we could do something like that. Not tonight. My voice is tired. Oh, yeah, I'd be down to do that sometime really soon. Maybe sometime this weekend. Like maybe Sunday. I'm doing something tomorrow, but Sunday I'd be down. Tomorrow, I'm going out with somebody, and then I'm gonna watch Seam Top 8. Oh yeah, I think Pool started, so we can watch some Tekken action tonight. I'll probably, if someone hasn't already posted it in the Discord, I'll post it in the fighting game channel. I think Seam started. I think Tekken Pools are live, or they will be really soon if they're not already. But they're gonna do all the way to top 8 tonight, so that's gonna be crazy. This is like the last big tournament of the year before World Finals. I know staying up late is rough for a lot of you guys, but if you ever can muster it, stay up and watch these Asian tournaments. You'll learn way more than watching American tournaments. No offense to our boys like Anakin and Joey Fury and stuff. Those guys are obviously top players. It's more of the volume of top level matches that you get to watch is way more in an Asian tournament. Whereas like you have to wait for top 4 of an American tournament to see really good Tekken. Good. All right, I'm hyped. So let's wrap it up, right? Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you learned a lot. I have the login, so I'll go save the archive and make sure that we have that so that people who missed out, or especially missed like the first half, can check it out. I want to learn Bear. Yeah, Bear's tight, dude. Nothing wrong with wanting to learn Bear. Don't let the haters take you down. Bears can obviously win, or Rengchu wouldn't have his results. Alright, peace out, guys.